The warning ignored. In the far reaches of the galaxy, the Council of Elders gathered in their great hall. These wise beings had lived for thousands of years, watching civilizations rise and fall like waves on the cosmic ocean. Their eyes were sharp, their minds filled with knowledge of countless worlds and countless dangers. Today, the Elders met to discuss a new threat. Not a monster or a warship, but a species that had slowly grown stronger on the small blue planet called Earth. "We have watched humanity for centuries," Elder Kalen said, his deep voice echoing through the chamber. "They are reckless, unpredictable, and unlike any other species we have faced. Their rapid growth and strange technologies concern us." Elder Miri nodded. "They have faced many challenges and survived, but their hunger for expansion is unlike anything we have seen. If left unchecked, they will upset the balance of the galaxy." The council debated at length, but the elders agreed on one thing. They must warn the Galactic Union and its member planets about humanity's potential danger. The warning would be clear and strong. A message was sent to every member world urging caution, vigilance, and preparation, but on many planets the warning was met with disbelief and dismissal. "They are just a primitive species," said one, leader from the planet Theros. "We have no reason to fear humans." Another from Draelis said, "The elders are old and overly cautious. Humanity cannot reach our space. Let them be." Even some of the younger council members questioned the warnings. "Why waste resources fearing a species so small and isolated?" they asked. Humanity was still new to space travel, and their colonies beyond Earth were small and weak compared to the vast fleets of other civilizations, so the warnings fell on deaf ears. Meanwhile, on Earth, people lived unaware of the attention they had drawn. Scientists celebrated new discoveries, engineers built ships to explore the stars, and leaders debated how to protect their home. Among them was a young pilot named Leo. He had grown up hearing stories of distant stars and dreams of flying beyond the sky. For him, space was the final frontier, full of promise and adventure. One day, Leo received an urgent message from Earth Command. New intelligence showed increased movements of alien fleets near human colonies. Tensions were rising, and Earth was preparing for possible conflict. But many still believed peace was possible. The Elders' warning had been forgotten in the noise of politics and ambition. Then, without warning, a massive alien armada appeared near the outer colony of Nova Prime. The humans were caught off guard. The alien ships attacked quickly and with great force, destroying the colony's defenses and forcing many settlers to flee. This was the moment the galaxy realized the Elders had been right all along. Humanity's survival depended on facing this new war with courage and strength. Leo looked up at the dark sky, knowing that the days of peace were over. Rising fire. The skies above Earth buzzed with activity. Starports were filled with ships preparing for war, and training grounds echoed with the sounds of soldiers readying themselves. The news of the attack on Nova Prime spread fast, shaking the confidence of many but igniting a fierce determination in others. Leo stood in the hangar beside his squadron, looking over the sleek fighters lined up for battle. They were smaller and fewer compared to the massive alien vessels, but the pilots believed in their skill and humanity's spirit. Commander Harris approached Leo, a firm but encouraging smile on his face. "This will be your first battle, Leo. Remember, we don't just fight with weapons, we fight with heart." Leo nodded. He felt the weight of responsibility but also the fire of hope burning inside him. The alien armada remained near the outer colonies, spreading fear and destruction. But humanity refused to back down. Engineers worked day and night, modifying ships and weapons to match the enemy's technology. Across the galaxy, some planets that had once ignored the Elders' warning began to send support to Earth, realizing the danger now faced all life. The first battle was set near the asteroid belt of Rigel 6, where humans planned to intercept the alien fleet. Leo and his squadron soared through space, engines blazing, hearts pounding. The enemy ships were larger, armed with heavy cannons and shields, but the humans fought with cunning and bravery. Leo's fighter dodged blasts, weaving through debris, and launched missiles with precision. The battle was fierce and fast, Many human fighters were lost, but their strikes damaged the enemy fleet, forcing them to retreat. For the first time, the galaxy saw humanity's true strength, not just in technology, but in willpower. Back on Earth, leaders declared the start of the Human Defense Coalition, uniting planets and people to stand against the growing threat. But far from the front lines, the elders watched with cautious hope. They knew the war had only just begun, and humanity's real power was still hidden. Hook. For Part 3. The hidden weapon deep beneath Earth's surface. In a secret laboratory protected by layers of steel and technology, scientists worked on a project that could change the war's course. It was a weapon unlike any other, not one of destruction, but of power and control. Dr. Malik, the lead scientist, stood before the assembled council, explaining the weapon's purpose. "This device harnesses the energy of stars themselves," he said. "With it, we can disable enemy fleets without firing a single shot. It can shut down their shields, engines, and weapons remotely." The council listened, some with hope, others with fear. "This weapon could end the war quickly," Malik continued. "But it is dangerous. If misused, it could cause catastrophic damage to entire systems, including our own colonies." Still, Earth's leaders decided to proceed. Captain Leo was assigned to escort the weapon to the front lines. It would be installed on the flagship Resolute, the symbol of human resistance. As the weapon was transported, Leo felt a mix of pride and unease. He knew this power could save millions, but at what cost? When the Resolute reached the battlefield near the Orion Rift, the weapon was activated. A pulse of energy spread through space, and the enemy fleet faltered. Their ships lost power, drifting helplessly. Human forces seized the chance, launching a decisive attack. The alien armada was crushed, retreating in defeat. The victory was celebrated across human worlds. But far away, in the shadows of the galaxy, some whispered warnings. They feared humanity's new power could awaken something darker, a force no one could control. Shadows from the past victory celebrations on Earth were short-lived. The people rejoiced, but deep in the council chambers a different kind of fear grew. Elder Callan and the other elders convened once again. Their faces were grave. "There is a darkness rising," Callan warned. "The weapon humanity used sent ripples through space-time. It disturbed ancient forces long thought dormant. No one had expected this. From the edges of the galaxy, strange signals began to pulse. Energies not of any known technology, old as the stars themselves. Explorers, sent to investigate, never returned. On Earth, Leo received new orders. Intelligence reported sightings of massive, unknown ships, shapes unlike any alien species before. When they appeared near human colonies, entire planets trembled in fear. The enemy was no longer just the alien fleets. They were something far, older, and more terrifying. Scientists scrambled to understand these vessels, but their technology was beyond comprehension. The elders urged unity and caution. Humanity and their allies would need to face this threat together, or be destroyed. Leo looked up at the stars again. The war had become more than a battle for survival. It was a fight for the very future of life itself. Allies in the dark EO1. Vastness of space had never felt so heavy. Leo stood on the bridge of the Resolute, staring at the strange ships drifting near the edge of human territory. They were enormous, black as void, with strange glowing patterns that shifted and pulsed, like living things. Their presence brought an eerie silence across communications. Desperate for answers, Earth's leaders reached out to old enemies and neutral planets alike. The threat was too great for old grudges to matter. A council of diverse species formed, a coalition unlike any before it. Even some Dominus leaders who had once opposed humanity agreed to work together. Trust was fragile, but survival demanded it. Leo was chosen to lead a small team on a reconnaissance mission aboard a stealth ship, tasked with boarding one of the shadow vessels. Their goal: uncover the source of the ship's power and find a way to stop them. The mission was dangerous. The ship's defenses were mysterious and lethal, but Leo's team pressed forward, relying on skill and courage. Inside the shadow ship, they discovered ancient technology, far older than any recorded history. It hummed with an energy that felt alive. At the heart of the ship, they found a control core guarded by an alien intelligence. It spoke in a language beyond words, conveying a warning. This war, it awakens us. If stopped, balance returns. If not, destruction consumes all. Leo realized this ancient force was tied to the very fabric of the galaxy. The conflict between humans and aliens had stirred a sleeping power that none could ignore. Hook for Part 6. The Price of Unity Back. On the Resolute, Leo relayed the message from the ancient intelligence. The council was divided. Some feared the alien threat more than humanity. Others distrusted the elders and their warnings. Old wounds and rivalries still lingered, threatening to unravel the fragile alliance. Earth's leaders called for a great summit. Planets from every corner of the galaxy sent representatives. The fate of billions rested on this meeting. Leo spoke plainly. This is no longer a war between species. It is a war for the galaxy itself. We must stand together, or we will all fall. Slowly, the walls began to crumble. The coalition agreed to share knowledge, resources, and weapons. They trained together, fought together, and planned a final strike against the ancient force controlling the shadow ships. But there was a cost. The weapon Earth had used earlier, the one that had won the first battles, was unstable. Its power risked tearing space itself apart. Dr. Malik warned, using this weapon again could destroy entire systems, including our own. The choice was clear but painful. Risk total destruction to stop the ancient force or face slow annihilation under its shadow. Leo looked at the stars, knowing the coming battle would demand everything humanity had, and more. The last stand, the galaxy held its breath as fleets from every corner assembled. Human ships flew side by side with Dominus cruisers, and vessels from distant worlds glimmered in the cosmic night. For the first time in history, old enemies fought as one. Leo stood on the bridge of the Resolute, watching the vast darkness ahead. The ancient force's shadow ships loomed like giants, their black hulls swallowing light. The final battle was at hand. With a silent nod, Leo gave the command. The coalition fleet surged forward, firing beams of energy, missiles, and plasma. The shadow ships responded with waves of dark energy, twisting space and crushing anything in reach. The weapon Earth had created pulsed with power, aiming to disable the enemy's core. But the risk was clear. The more it fired, the more space around them trembled. As chaos erupted, Leo's squadron penetrated the heart of the Shadow Fleet, facing strange creatures born from the ancient power itself. The fight was brutal, but their courage never wavered. In a desperate moment, Leo reached the control core, activating a device to sever the ancient force's connection to the shadow ships. A brilliant light exploded through the darkness, and the shadow ships faltered. Losing power one by one, space itself seemed to breathe again. Victory was hard won and costly, but the galaxy survived. The elders watched with pride as humanity and its allies proved that even in the darkest times, hope and unity could light the way. Leo looked up at the stars, knowing this was only the beginning of a new era, one where humans were no longer the warned about but the leaders who saved the galaxy.